Well, hello there, fellow geeks and geekettes. Psycho7 is back with some news from the geek world. Well, I am myself an avid collector of memorabilia, movie, comic book memorabilia, and action figures, replicas, statues, comic books. Well, basically anything you can imagine. And I have been collecting my entire life. Now, that means that I know something about collectibles. I know something about toys, and that's why I think that I could talk about this particular thing for a little bit, with the knowledge that I've got something to say, something relevant, and that I'm actually quite right. There have been a couple of articles about this particular thing, about this particular problem, which has been reappearing now for several years, and it is connected with toys, action figures, and collectibles that are based on the three latest Star Wars movies, or the sequel trilogy. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Now, since The Force Awakens came out, the toy makers such as Hasbro and Diamond Select and Gentle Giant, Sideshow Collectibles and Hot Toys, well, they have been observing the fact that the new characters from the sequel trilogy, are not that popular as the old or the original characters from the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy. And the same goes with their toys, with the action figures of the new characters from the sequel trilogy. They don't sell as well as the good old characters from the first 6 films. Now, a very good article has been published on the site bleedingfool.com. It was written by Ichibaka, and it's called Diamond Toys Says No Demand for Disney Star Wars Characters. I will put a link to that article in the description so you can check it out for yourself. And the majority of the article consists of an interview with Chuck Teixeira, I believe it's pronounced like that, the president of Diamond Select Toys. He was recently interviewed by rebelscam.com, and Bleeding Fool provides the reader with a portion of what that interview was all about, basically. And the interviewer asked Chuck Teixeira if Diamond is planning to make any new collectibles of the new characters from the sequel trilogy, such as Rey, Poe Dameron, Finn, or the Praetorian Guard statues, or the new stormtroopers in their newly designed armor. Well, and he basically said that yes, they were. Well, you be able to read it in the article, but the gist of the article is that yes, they are planning to make some of the new characters, but they are really not selling. And there are many videos on YouTube of people actually going to toy shops and toy stores like Walmart. Walmart isn't a toy shop, but Toys R Us has been closed, so toy collectors and toy hunters have to hunt for their action figures in Walmart and Targets and things like that in America. In Central Europe, such as my own country, the Czech Republic, we have to get those things on the internet. But the people who have been making hunting videos of action figures and toys, they recorded piles and piles and piles of unsold figures of Rey, of the new character Captain Holdo, I believe she's called, or the girl that had some sort of almost romantic relationship with Finn, Rose Tico, yeah, that's her name. So, which couldn't really be sold. On the other hand, characters such as Luke Skywalker, and not necessarily from the new trilogy, but from the old films. Like, well, I'm just looking at my own collection, like Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Thrawn, characters from the prequel trilogy like Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, young Obi-Wan Kenobi, characters from the Clone Wars like Ahsoka Tano. Well, they sell very well, and I've got an answer to that. Why has this particular fact been happening? And I think that I'm quite right. So it is a theory, my own personal opinion and theory, but given the fact that I have been studying pop culture and memorabilia my entire life, I think I know where the problem lies. It lies in the fact that the characters aren't interesting. First you need to have an interesting character in one way or another, and then you can sell its toys or collectibles made in the image of that particular character, right? So, for instance, everybody loves Darth Vader. People will always buy Darth Vader collectibles. People will always buy Han Solo toys, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Princess Leia, Padme Amidala, Ahsoka Tano. I myself, there are not many action figures of Ahsoka Tano on the market right now, and I am angry and furious because I need to get an Ahsoka Tano action figure, and I can't find one. You can find some on eBay for a lot of money, but not on the market right now. I've got Hera Syndulla from the Rebels. I love that character, but there was only one action figure of her. They have made some Leia figures, but not that many, which I do regret as well, because I need Leia in the metal bikini. They haven't made any for years, I think. But there are hordes and hordes and hordes of Rose Ticos in Walmart, and nobody wants them because the character is just not interesting or intriguing in any way. Like, people buy Kylo Ren action figures. You know why? Because he actually is an interesting character. He's a character who is torn between the light side and the dark side of the Force. And Adam Driver is actually a very good actor who portrayed the character, I think, very well. Well, and that is why I used to own a Kylo Ren action figure. I had to sell it so I could buy Darth Vader. But, it's about personal preferences. But the gist is that first you need to make an interesting character. Either its personality or the character's personality and story needs to be intriguing, grasping, catching, and interesting, or the visual representation of the character needs to be intriguing. It needs to catch your eye in order for you to want to buy the character or the action figure. For example, you've got many aliens in Star Wars. Strange and funny and interesting looking, colorful aliens. Well, those action figures actually sell because they, firstly, if, whoever wants to buy them, doesn't matter, how old you are, but everybody likes interesting or interestingly looking characters. If you want to play with things, take photos of them or just display them on your shelves or on your walls, it needs to look interesting, or the character needs to be interesting as far as the character, their like inside goes, or the story. And I do not really think that many people consider the sequel trilogy to be that interesting or that good. So that's why people don't buy their figures. And that's the gist of it. It's very simple, very easy. There's no conspiracy behind it. There's really nothing else but that I have been talking about for almost 10 minutes. So please feel free to share your opinion. Do you agree with me or not? Type it down there in the comments down below. Check the article, and I will see you in another video. Bye.